first of the weekend's FAI Ford Cup semi-finals, and it's the league leaders Bohemians against last year's cup runners-up Sligo Rovers. Good evening, and you're very welcome to Dalymount Park for what is arguably the meeting of two of the form teams in the league right now, and both are already cup winners in 2010. Back in May, of course, Bohemians won the Setanta Sports Cup, while just last month Sligo Rovers won the EA Sports Trophy. But this is what it's all about on this particular evening, both trying to get to the final of the Ford FAI Cup. Damien Richardson is with me. Damien, great experience, of course, in this particular competition. Twice winner as a player, 3 times as a manager. It's still the blue riband of domestic football, isn't it?
Yes, most definitely. And I think the semi-final stage period is always the most challenging, in my opinion, because you're so tantalising close to the final. And especially so with the final this season in the new Aviva Stadium. Every player in the park here tonight will want to make that cup final appearance on such a historic occasion.
Yeah.
So it's going to be a test not only of ability, talent, but also of mental strength, courage, to assert yourself and play to your full potential and keep your concentration high all the way through this game.
Well, certainly as far as Bohemians are concerned, there should be no shortage of confidence around here at the moment. They've just gone top of the league with 2 games to go, and they have the prospect of reaching an FAI Cup final. I mean, it really is good times for them again.
Timing has been absolutely perfect for Bohemians. They've had a difficult season, and yet they kept their mind on the game all the way through, the manager and the players, and they're getting their just rewards now. They have a great chance of winning this competition here if they can get through tonight's very challenging game, and then they're in the great position in the league. But they're well versed in the art of League and Cup football, but also so are their opponents, Sligo. They lost last season by a late goal. They come back and won the League Cup this year. So both of these clubs know exactly what it takes to win this game tonight, and that means it's going to be a particularly competitive game, tactically, technically, but most important of all, that deep belief. That whoever shows most belief and shows their commitment to it, I think will come out on top.
Yeah, and Bohemians have had their rewards over the last few seasons, done extremely well. It's nice now that Sligo under Paul Cook, who have a reputation for playing good, stylish football, that they're getting their rewards. They're currently 3rd in the league. They've won the EA Sports Cup, and they could end up in the final of the FAI Cup as well.
Yeah, so I think that's a good point, because I think they're one of the most attractive teams in the country. But it's not enough being attractive anymore. You've got to produce results. And it's great when you get a sort of football team like Paul Cook's Sligo Rovers win a League Cup competition, get to the semi-final of the FAI Cup, and also chasing that very important 3rd spot in the Electricity League. And it's all well and good playing football, good football. You've got to be productive football, and this team certainly know how to do that.
Yeah, is there a possibility, Damien, well I'm sure there is, that this could go back to the showgrounds on Monday night? Is a draw on the cards here?
Well, I saw the league game here between the 2 teams about 6 or 8 weeks ago, and Sligo were brilliant in the first half and went in a goal down. That's what Bohemians can do to you. Particularly with people like Jason Byrne in the team. Paul Cook has to be careful that they don't go a goal behind and then have to chase the game, because that really doesn't suit a cup semi-final. So it might be cagey to start. The midfield battle will be, I think, the most intriguing part of it. Are Sligo going to use 3 in there, or are they going to give Joseph Doe freedom, or maybe John Russell freedom? That'll be tantalising and very good to see. But it will come down to the players on the night, because both managers know they have talent throughout the teams. They trust that talent, and I think we're in for a very special evening.
Well, let's hope we are, because as I mentioned, they're 2 of the form teams in the domestic game right now. It's Bohemians against Sligo Rovers. The team's out on the pitch, as you can see, so it's time to join our match commentators for the evening, Pat Morley, and first to George Hamilton.
Thank you, Peter. Yes, teams out on the pitch. Table-topping Bohemians going for 3 in a row titles against Sligo Rovers, the top scorers in the Electricity League Premier Division. And what a night we have in prospect here. Form teams they most certainly are, but there's a bit of a dichotomy there, because Sligo Rovers haven't won in their last 9 visits to Dalymount Park, and in those they've only scored 3 goals. They've registered 7 blanks visiting Dalymount Park since June 2006, when Paul McTiernan scored 2 goals to give them their last victory here, a 2-0 win in the league. Rafael Cataro was in the cup final last year for Sligo Rovers against Sporting Fingal. He picked up a freak neck injury in twisting to go after a high ball that was caught in the swirling wind and had to be substituted. He played for Sligo in that match and got a loser's medal, and now he's trying to deny his old mates, Matthew Blinkhorn there giving him a kiss, his old mates the opportunity of getting a winner's medal this season. Bohemians yet again are unchanged, from Barry Murphy right out to Jason Byrne in front, with Petaro, the Tubbercurry tornado, the Sligo native, in against his home county team. on the other side. 3 changes for Sligo Rovers. Kieran Kelly comes back in goal. John Russell is back from suspension in midfield, and back from international duty with Benin is Romo Bocco, who will operate on the left behind Blinkhorn, who's now the man that Sligo look to for goals now that Pádraig Almond, their top scorer, is playing his football professionally in Portugal. There's Blinkhorn, 6 league goals and 4 in the EA Sports Cup. Still awaiting his first FAI Ford Cup goal this season. Pat Morley?
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to this, George. I think it's going to be an absolute cracking game. I mean, when you look at the two sides that are there, they both play open football. Sligo won't be afraid of coming up here. And that was a lovely gesture before the game, as I saw Paul Cook running all the way across to shake hands with Pat Fenton. And obviously you saw the kiss between Blinkhorn and Guittaro. So let's see what happens.
Yep, it's going to be quite a night. These two have some cup history. Back in 1970, Bohemians took 3 games to get past Sligo Rovers to win the cup. Sligo Rovers registered their first FAI Cup victory by beating Bohemians here 2-1 in 1983, and in 1994 they beat Derry City. So for Sligo, for the Bitter Red, it's been a long wait. Bohemians as recently as 2008 were FAI Cup winners. So which will progress from this meeting tonight? Alan Kelly from Cork is the referee, just as he was when Bows met Shamrock Rovers 2 Fridays ago here, which kind of helped change the complexion of this league. But now it's the cup that we're involved in, and it's Bohemians in red and black stripes playing against Sligo Rovers. Sligo, who are attacking the school end to the right in change colours of white shirts, but there's still that bitter red, a flash across the shirt with the red on the socks as well. As Ndo sweeps a good ball wide to Bocco, who's begun on the right, and that's for Alan Keane. And this is an indication of Sligo's football here. Doe once again, over the head though of Richie Ryan, cleared away by Ken Oman. And Doe back in there, a firm challenge though coming in from Glenn Cronin, but Sligo have it once more with Keane. And you can see the way they like to play the ball to feet. They don't like to lob it about the place. That was a good one forward by Bocco. Oman can clear it again. Bocco challenging there against McGlynn, and back it goes from Jason Byrne, forward then by Conor Powell, but Gavin Pearce can launch it long. Oman underneath it, and then it's Byrne back inside, and Doe challenging and brought under control by Richie Ryan. Left back is Irla Davrin for Sligo Rovers. Killian Brennan operating in the right for Bows. Nice layoff there by Guittaro for Brennan, and Guittaro once more on the run ahead. He didn't spot it by McGlynn, and Doe gets back. Then a thumping shot by Jason Byrne that brings the hand of apology high. It was a long way from its intended target.
Yeah, great start, high tempo, everything in it. In fairness to Sligo, they've come out, they started knocking the ball around the place, very composed, very competitive, and it's great to see. And unfortunately, the whole little run of the play was ended by Jason Byrne's ball that nearly ended up in Shelburne.
And nearly 2 minutes of a contest before the ball went out of play after the kick-off. Paul Cook, disappointment last year, but he was such an honest assessor of his team's performance in the final at Tallaght Stadium with a high wind. But he'd love to take them back, love to, just for the second time in Sligo's history, get him into consecutive FAI Cup finals. Kennaman. That's looking for Brennan. Davrin beat him. It's come down here for Rossiter, continuing in the absence of Owen Healy, who's suspended but also injured. Forward then by Glenn Cronin. Guittaro trying to get in around the back and causing problems there for Loughlin. And finally it's within Doe. Clever football, nice layoff by John Russell, and here goes Bocco. Bocco with a call through the middle by Blinkhorn. It's Bocco still. Bocco teasing Cronin. Bocco again, expected the run then to come from Keane, but ball's gone out of play.
Lovely bit of football again by Sligo. What was very interesting from Bocco, though, if he got on the ball a lot quicker and put the ball into the back post, Blinkhorn had peeled off. Needs to just have a little quick look at that, because if he did look up, he was free at the back post, Blinkhorn.
Jason Byrne. Mentioning Owen Healy there, we hear that he may indeed be available for next week in a crucial game in Galway for Bohemians after his long absence, an injury absence that was gilded by a suspension. If gilded is the word to use in those circumstances, but I suppose it helps if you're... Oh, lovely layoff there by Killian Brennan. And it's Gary McCabe who's back, trying to defend the situation for Sligo, and gets himself a free kick. Just to complete the tale of it, Owen Heary, it's probably a good thing if you get injured when you're suspended.
Yeah, it probably is. But again, when you're looking at the play there, George, I mean, they played very, very well to get the ball up to Jason Byrne, and unfortunately himself and Katara just weren't on the same wavelength. So I think it's just if Katara is looking for the ball inside the full back, he needs to let Jason Byrne know that.
Header by Oman. Oh, too firmly stuck by Brennan. Kieran Kelly in goal for Sligo Rovers. Alan Kelly's given him plenty of leeway but taking the kick. A huge one it is too, and directed back to the other goalkeeper, who's Barry Murphy. Jason Byrne. The shot came in from Keegan. The goal's captain again, some way off the target.
Well, it's route one. I mean, his ball's come up. Jason Byrne has done well. He's up with Pearce. He's got a hold of it. He's laid it off beautifully and he's just got over it. You know, I mean, he's not lucky. He's trying to do the right thing, Paul Keegan, but he's not known for his striking ability and towers from that distance. But he's done the right thing and had a pop.
That was a great atmosphere, helped along by the fans who've made the trip from the west of Ireland. Or should we say the northwest, really?
That's a good at geography, Jack.
I better check with my friends in Sligo how they describe where they are. They're halfway between the west and the northwest. Brennan. Way off for Cronin. And Shelley. And back to Murphy. Flick on by Keegan, and again then by Jason Byrne, and now it's Critaro. Critaro, as the support arrives from Conor Powell. McGlynn, a little back heel, didn't quite come off, but he's held the possession. Keegan. Keegan for Brennan. Killian Brennan. Powell outside. And the first time cross, he just misplaced it, but Kieran Kelly not exactly happy with the defenders in front, but both get the ball down, they're hard to deal with.
Yeah, they're playing the ball lovely, but I mean, again, when you get down to that distance, George, and you get to the area of getting good balls in the box, again, when you look at Jason Byrne, he's peeled away to the back post. Katara's trying to go front post, and they just need a better bit of quality in there, same as what Bacco did a while ago. Better quality when they get into danger areas.
The breeze there is probably facing Kieran Kelly as he takes that goal kick. It's come back off McGlynn. Oman. Interception by Keane. John Russell battling hard, and then Blinkhorn, and that's a rather nasty challenge. That referee Alan Kelly saying to Glenn Cronin that was a bit much. The message is clear, and the free kick is Sligo Rovers.
Yeah, he's over the top there. I mean, you know, he's not even got near the ball, and Alan Kelly's done well. He's just spoke to him, you know, not giving away an early card, you know, at the start of the game to make sure that it doesn't get sort of carried away with yellow cards. So he's done well there, Alan Kelly.
Doe just stuck it too firmly. Scored against Sligo Rovers. The last time that Sligo scored a goal here, Doe was wearing a Bohemian shirt last season, a year ago. McGlynn. Cronin. Offside flag has stayed down. It's Cretaro. That's straightforward enough for Kieran Kelly. An important game taking place not far from here at Morton Stadium. Alan Kirby and Colin Hawkins look like it stays like that. Consigning Galway to the playoffs. 2-0 to Fingal. Last year's cup winners, but no longer in the competition this year. Blinkhorn, dispossessed by Brennan. Killian Brennan, a little look and a ball towards McGlynn, but was well read by Alan Keane. But it's now with the captain, Paul Keegan. Keegan for McGlynn. McGlynn for Cretaro. Back from McGlynn, that nearly a good ball. Sligo just closed the door, and a foul then by Cretaro on Indo.
Won't be happy there, I think, George. Very harsh. He's unlucky. I mean, it doesn't look like it's a free kick and he's gone through, you know. He's just nicked it. That's harsh. That's harsh.
Sligo try to profit. Gary McCabe. And out for a throw. It's been awarded to Sligo Rovers. Brennan doing the defending. Ryan. Forward by Davrin. Davrin in to try and win it back again. There's no Bohemians player chasing here. Jim Loughlin to steer it back to the goalkeeper. Header by Rossiter. Back again it goes by Loughlin. Blinkhorn. Lovely touch. And swept wide towards Bocco. And Bocco's on the ball here. And Bocco has put it over the bar. Wonderful play by Matthew Blinkhorn. Had to pick him out as well with a superb ball. And Bocco really should have done better there.
Different class, Matthew Blinkhorn. Great first touch. Fantastic pass to Bocco. And he's just put it over the bar. Great ball here. You see the touch. Great little thing over the far side. Bocco, lovely first touch. Taking inside Paul. Tries to dink it over the keeper. Just a bit too much juice on it over the top of the bar. Great chance. Great football by Sligo Rovers and should be one up.
Well, they haven't scored a goal here since October of last year when Dean Marshall scored in the 3-1 defeat. They've been back twice since without scoring. For a scoreless draw and a 2-0 defeat. Ndo. Lovely flick. And a lovely ball from Blinkhorn again, and this time it's put out by Oman. But that's terrific football by Sligo, who certainly have the upper hand at the moment.
Absolutely. I mean, Blinkhorn's coming into a little hole there. No one is picking him up. The centre-halves don't know whether to go with him. The midfielders don't know whether to drop back off. And if they're going to give him this more space, that's twice he's opened them up. It will cause them problems, and they need to pick him up.
Loughlin up from the back. Pears is there too, number 4. And Joseph Ndo will take the corner kick for Sligo Rovers. And he's given that a lot of air. Blinkhorn stretching, he got a touch, but it was a little bit too elevated from Joseph Ndo. Asked an awful lot of Matthew Blinkhorn.
That was a poor corner, and it was coming in with a lot of height coming down on that, and you need a bit more pace than that for a big lad like him to get on the ball, because he is a very good header of the ball. But he started off fantastically well, Blinkhorn has.
Pears with a firm header back into the Bohemians' half. Rossiter there to steer it back to Barry Murphy. Burn up, beaten by Pears again. It's Blinkhorn, and a clever little header there. Played off for Ryan, and Ryan for Gary McCabe. Lovely balance about him, and on for Ndo. And Ndo slides one through for Bocco. But he showed too much of that to Powell, but kept the pressure on though. Unfortunately for Sligo, it bounced off the shins of Bocco, and Martin Maloney indicates a throw in to Bohemians.
Yeah, great awareness again by Ndo. I mean, you know, you don't know where Joseph Ndo is going to pick up, but he's turning around and he's picking up paces, and that was a fabulous ball for Bocco.
Oh, beautiful by Ando. Blinkhorn. Bocco. From Bocco again. And Bocco's shot is saved. Brilliant football by Sligo. We really are asking all the questions.
All the questions. Again, beautiful football. Again, really intricate, tight spaces, taken inside. Probably on his weaker side this time, Bocco. Hit the target this time, though.
The last time the comedy box was in touch with the touchline reporter was in Gelina. Now here we are back in Dublin 7. Tony O'Donoghue.
Well, the Bohemians bench is rather furious with the fact that their centre halves aren't picking up Blinkhorn, and Ken O'Man had an exchange there with Pat Fenlon, and he's very, very angry about things. He's saying that either O'Man or Shelley have to go when Blinkhorn goes deep. They have to go with him, and they've got to decide which one is going to do it.
Thanks, Tony.
Well, it's what we were just speaking about there a while ago, George. I mean, someone has got to pick him up because he's causing all sort of problems.
Here's Bocco again. And this time he's closed down by McGlynn. Pears. A lovely touch from Sligo Rovers. There's, they're able to head it with conviction or touch it with delicacy. And here they go again. John Russell trying to get it back out to the wing towards Alan Keane, and Keane has forced the throw in off Powell, and it really is Sligo who are asking all the questions. Back for Bocco, and Bocco for Ndo, and Ndo for the captain Ryan, and Ryan, well, that was good from Cronin to put the pressure on. That's what Bows need to do, because Sligo are showing such composure. They really need, Bohemians really need to be in their faces.
Definitely. I mean, Cronin's just done it. He's looked back at his back four and he's sort of given a little G up because they haven't pushed up. Cronin's pushed up. He's shown us what happened when Blinkhorn has gone in a little hole between the centre halves and the midfielders. He's not been picked up. And as Tony has said about Pat Fenlon, no wonder he's screaming at O'Man to pick him up. He's got to go with him.
On by Blinkhorn, but again, he just wasn't able to control the header. Furious with himself. But it was just stretching that bit too far. Here's Keegan. McGlynn. Brennan. Looking for Jason Byrne, but it's Pears who cuts it out. It's down for McGlynn, on towards Cretaro, but back there to cut it out was John Russell.
Well, it's been a while since they've been up here, George, and they need to get more of the ball and more of the possession, and they need to start getting their wide men in an awful lot more into the game because they haven't done it. They're coming in a bit too much into the middle of the park, which is tightening up the whole pitch.
Oh. Rossiter commits the foul. Free kick again to Sligo Rovers.
It's probably not a bad free kick to give away because they're all out of position, and Sligo got a little break on.
Mark Rossiter filling in long term for Owen Heary, who we hear may be back for next Friday night in Galway. You can see that match on RTE2. Of course, keeping in touch with Shamrock Rovers at Tala simultaneously. But tonight it's about Bohemians and Sligo Rovers. In goes Bocco, and he's fouled him. Just jumped on top of him.
He's just let him know he's there, but your concern from a Bohemian standpoint is their back four needs to be very, very deep, and they're not pushing up enough when they're going forward. It's sort of one man chasing and the other sort of 10 are behind the ball, and they need to just push up a bit more and give the midfielders a little bit of a help.
Oman. Brennan against Davern. Faz Kaduzovic has put Dundalk in front at Belfield Bowl. UCD 0, Dundalk 1. Here at Dalymount Park, coming up to 20 minutes. Bohemians 0, Sligo Rovers, FAI Cup finalists last year, 0. Jason Byrne, we're happy to hear him past fit. A torrid start to the evening for a man of the match 2 weeks ago against Shamrock Rovers, Ken O'Mann. And they've made the lengthy trip. Sligo Rovers fans are certainly a very good voice, and well, they should be, the way their team is playing. O'Mann is being impeded by Blinkhorn.
Well, that's the first time that Ken O'Mann has actually challenged with Blinkhorn, and he's gone with Blinkhorn, and he's actually pushed him out to where he needs to be more. That's less dangerous from a Bohemian standpoint, so I'm sure Pat Fenlon will be delighted with that.
McGlynn. Forward by Cronin. Powell. O'Mann. Bounced awkwardly for Alan Keane. And not much else he could do. Cross from McGlynn, headed away by Pearce. Pushing down by Cronin, Keegan. Cronin and O'Mann. And Bohemians finally playing a bit of football. McGlynn, but he's given it away. Undo. Cracked back by Powell. Undo rolls it into space. But just too far ahead of Russell. And Shelley's brought it out of the defence. McGlynn. Jason Byrne. Cronin. And on for Rossiter. Killian Brennan. Facing Davern. Back for Rossiter. Brennan, Davern got a touch. Fair touch, he got the ball. And Keegan made a great tackle, but Ryan got it away. And that's played forward for Blinkhorn. And Rossiter pushes him over, but the referee saw it the other way.
Amazing. I mean, Blinkhorn's done really, really well there. He's been coming short all the time. He then goes deep to pick it up. Here he goes inside. And I mean, it's, what is it, half at 50-50, isn't it? It could have gone either way. And the referee has seen it defensive-wise. But, you know, it's great little work again by Matthew Blinkhorn. Coming short, going long. He's given him a lot to think about it. Back four of Bows at the moment.
Lachlan, and then Ryan. Brennan now for Bows. Rossiter. Cronin in there to help it on. For himself. And now O'Mann. McGlynn. Pearce. Played by Powell, swept in by McGlynn, headed away by Lachlan. And this has found Gary McCabe. And McCabe is dispossessed by Rossiter. Jason Byrne in a very deep position. To start again. Ryan and Doe. Lachlan stretching. Russell. And Baku beaten by McGlynn. Keegan. Rossiter. Oh, Lachlan beaten, but Ndo's there to assist. And finds Keane. Blinkhorn beaten by Rossiter. Keegan. Gritaro turning Pearce. Gritaro getting to boost the Sligo fans. Gritaro once again. at his shot. Oh, good stop. Good effort. On target. Safe hands from Kieran Kelly.
Yeah, good straight, long way out, and I don't think he's going to beat Kieran Kelly from there. I mean, he's taken it inside, he's done really well at Qatar. He's had a look up, he's been given time, though. That would be the worry if I was Paul Cook. No one has closed him down. You need to do that. He's a dangerous wee lad when he gets a strike on target. But Bows need to get a hold of the ball, and they need to keep it a bit more possession because they're giving it away a bit too softly in the wrong areas.
Meanwhile, Matthew Blinkhorn has won a free kick cleverly, invited the challenge of Ken Oman, and down he went, and the free kick was awarded. Up from the back, Piers. Loughlin has stayed back. A free kick from Rondeau. Attacking by Piers. Piers got there. Blinkhorn. Oh, the shot was from Russell. And Russell again. Tried to find Ryan, has done so. And Bowes closed the door. It's Keegan. Tidy it up. Shelley under some pressure. Keane, but he gave it away. McGlynn, and then Cretaro, and chasing after this is McGlynn, and Keane trying to get back at him. McGlynn, good block by Keane, but he couldn't quite prevent the corner. So Bohemians get their first corner of the evening.
Yeah, a bit of excitement. I mean, he's got the end. Keane has done very, very well. He's blocked and given away a corner kick, but this is where Sligo need to be very, very careful. They've been in an awful lot of attacking. They just had a great chance, but Conor Powell has made a great block, so they need to defend correctly.
Swung into the back post, and Oman got the header there.
He'd be disappointed, Ken Oman. I mean, the ball has floated in by Keegan, it's come to the back post. Oman is there. I mean, that's the free header. He's just mistimed that. That's a chance there. Here's the block again. I mean, he's a great chance. He's coming, he's hit it, and it just hit Conor Powell on the end of the leg. And here's the second one. Keane is coming again, and there's Keegan blocking the back of the second one. So a bit of sustained pressure by Sligo, and unlucky not to be 2 up.
Big miss early on by Bocco. Bocco in possession again. Keane, Blinkhorn. Oman got the better of him. Powell, Cretaro, McGlynn. And McGlynn, a clever little ball towards Killian Brennan. Rossiter's made the run. That's for Rossiter. Dispossessed by McCabe. Opportunity for the shot, perhaps. Well, that was Russell, and that was wide.
He's got a bit of luck there, Russell. He's come inside. Again, what Pat Fennell is furious on the side of the boat is that no one has picked up Russell. And again, it's just on his weaker side. You know, I mean, he's been left to shoot though from distance. And again, from a Sligo side, they've left Cretaro do it. And on a Bows side, they've left Russell do it. And there's no one closing down. And you can't leave people to get the sights on too often.
Keane. On by Russell. McCabe trying to get there. It's Oman. On by Keegan. Cleverly controlled by Loughlin. Daverin. Oh, losing out to Brennan. Having a little go back at Brennan. Still it's Brennan. He's managed to find his man Jason Byrne. And Byrne with a cross. Decent cross in. Keegan just couldn't direct it onto the goal. I think the two Bohemians players may have gone in each other's way. Cretaro and Keegan. Great ball by Jason Byrne.
Great ball in, well done by Killian Brennan as well. Lovely ball out. Jason Byrne, great ball into the box. They're after getting in each other's way. I mean, Keegan is coming onto that and Qatar is up in the air. You've got to let him know. I mean, you're the eyes behind him. Just tell him, get out of the way. I'm steaming in here to get a goal. And he hasn't happened, and they've clashed with each other. But great bit of football by Bows. All started by Killian Brennan.
Oh man, oh, climbing all over his man, Matthew Blinkhorn.
No step ladders required there, eh? There you go. I mean,
well, you could think in a situation like that the player, the Sligo player, was making it back for Oman, but wasn't the case. Oman was up before Blinkhorn had even thought about rising.
He'd do well at the end of the month in the Aussie rules for a mark maybe there.
Lachlan and Pears have stayed back here, and 3 in the wall for Bohemians. Ndo and the captain Richie Ryan. It's Joseph Ndo making the moves. Ndo, oh dear, they didn't really decide on what they were doing. Ndo had one thing in mind, and the fellows in front of him had something else in mind.
Yeah, it was a very, very poor free kick. I mean, he was looking to set up to hit it, and there was a bit of movement inside for him, and then he just tried to put a ball into Russell. I don't know, to the corner flag, as they say.
Lovely touch, but run back by Bohemians. Cronin, Oman, Lachlan there first. Ndo, Bocco, Keane, Russell, Bocco, Keane, Russell, and one over the top towards Blinkhorn, laid off back to Bocco. And on it goes to McCabe, but not quite to McCabe because Rossiter headed away and has pulled up. He seems to have damaged something. Hopped away from winning that ball in the air. Mark Rossiter. There's Rossiter now. Can he run after it? He doesn't look happy at all. And I'd say he's glad that that ball went out of play. But what happened there? Did he just pull something? Yeah, it seems his hamstring may well have gone.
Yeah, that doesn't look good. I mean, you can see it in his hand, he's gone. I mean, that's him finished. I mean, it's one of those, you know straight away that it just goes, and it's frustrating for him because, I mean, he started off quite well and he's been marking, but he's also had a torrid time and he got caught there as well, and it's a nasty one. There's the conversation with the three amigos now.
Well, is it an amigo they're going to send on? The young central defender, fullback Roberto Lopez.
There you go, could be a good shout, George. The young lad, he's done very well for him in the youth team. Here it is again. I mean, he's got up. He's just gone down and he's just landed awkwardly on the back of it, and it's just one of those ones where it just tweaks. And when he's putting his hand up to his head, George, it's never good.
Well, with just a little bit of the season to go, the cup finals in four and a half weeks, 4 weeks this weekend. Would he be back? Well, no, I think he knows that that's that, and it might well be the end of the season, and it might well be the chance of participation in the cup final may have gone should Bohemians make it. The question is, who now do Bohemians put on in his place? And it's going to be the young lad that we mentioned, Roberto Lopez, 18 years of age, from Crumlin, a star of the under-20 team and the A-League team, and ever present, in fact. And he's going to make a big cup debut here. Tony O'Donoghue has just confirmed that it will be right back for Roberto Lopez. Well, the other right back is Alan Keane. At the moment, Bohemians are still with just 10 men. It's for Bocco. Bocco sweeping it in, and Killian Brennan is taking no chances, and it's a corner to Sligo Rovers.
Wonderful play again by Sligo. Great ball out to Bocco. Fabulous first touch, taking it on so no one can close him down, and a lovely ball to the back post. The unfortunate thing is that none of the Sligo players have tried to attack the back post, but they've got a corner kick.
Well, they'll wait to send on their substitute until the corner. Oh no, they're going to make the substitution before the corner. Yes. So Rossiter off, and 18-year-old Roberto Lopez from Crumlin in Dublin goes on to take his place. Ever present in the under-20 team and the A-League team, plays centre half for them, but he'll play right back for the first team, his FAI Cup debut. Well taken by Barry Murphy in the goal.
Baptism of fire from so George, but it'll be interesting to see how he gets on. I mean, the corner kick comes in and it's easy for Barry Murphy, but you'd like to see how this young lad Lopez does today. I mean, I know Pat Fennan has high regard for him, but it's a very big game, and with Sligo being so much on top at the moment with the way they're playing football, it'd be interesting to see how he adapts.
Yes, he's only begun to appear on the bench occasionally in the latter stages of this season, having had such a good season with those reserve teams, but now he's got to put himself to the test here, and a man to mark. McCabe, back it goes for Daveron. Blinkhorn tried to just flick it on there and couldn't quite get it. Powell, no. Interesting to see if Sligo attempt to attack young Lopez in the right back position, dubbed with a Spanish name. Blinkhorn, and now Ryan. Daveron. And back it goes towards Loughlin. Pearce. Tracked back by Byrne. Russell. Invited the run of Keane, and it's McGlynn against Keane. McGlynn there first. And back from Murphy. Murphy's clearance. Jason Byrne holding his ground, but Bocco's got the better of him. And back to Pearce. And Pearce and Russell and Bocco. And Russell again. Bocco. Doe. The Bocco and Doe axis working well for Sligo. No, and Doe goes for the big one. Trying to get it over the head of Lopez, but he read it well. He put it away. Safety first.
Yeah, he's done very well. He's first to the piece of the action. He's done very, very well. But it's all Sligo. They're keeping possession of the ball. Bows are not getting into the game when they have the ball. They need to keep control of it. And the more that Sligo move it around, Bows are actually going deeper and deeper. And if you look now, there's none of them even challenging, and they're in their own half.
Keane, Bocco, Russell, and McCabe against Lopez, and McCabe with a shot, and parried, and Blinkhorn parried again. Two brilliant saves by Barry Murphy.
Different class is all that you can say about that. First was a great save, second was just totally reaction. Here he comes inside McCabe, and again it's a brilliant strike. Murphy's does brilliantly, Blinkhorn on the top, and that's absolutely fantastic. And I know that O'Neill, and there's just absolutely different class reflections. Great save, up he gets. They work in training week in, week out, and that is two brilliant saves.
Credit Matthew Blinkhorn as well, with how he hit the target, reacted swiftly himself and kept his composure, but the goalkeeper was brilliant.
Well, he's a brilliant shot. He's an absolutely brilliant shot stopper, Barry Murphy is. He mightn't be the biggest guy in the league, but he's a fabulous shot stopper. Here, McCabe comes inside, brilliant strike, and it's actually just swerving in the air, and there's the second. He's just got up and saved it, and that's just different class.
So there are chances for Sligo. We had Bocco early on putting one over the bar when he perhaps should have scored, and twice in quick succession Sligo were denied by Barry Murphy. Still 0-0.
Sorry, Joe. Just before the game started, Damien did speak about Sligo being brilliant the first time they came here. In the first half, they were absolutely outstanding. In the second half, died off. It looks as if it's deja vu here because they've had 4 great chances, and you just hope that they don't live to regret those chances, because a couple of them have been clear cut.
Well, is it playing on their minds that they haven't scored that many in the recent past? Since they won here last in 2006, they've scored only 3 goals in 9 visits, fired 7 blanks. But against that, they are the top scorers in this year's league. So I guess something's got to give.
It's the Murphy in goal, I think. The lad that was in Hipsters killed him for a couple of years, and now the other Murphy's killing him.
Yeah, Brian had got his first call up to the international squad when Kieran Westwood was injured and had to cry off for the game in Slovakia last Wednesday. Blinkhorn, a lovely layoff. Russell. Keane. Bocco. The ricochet meant he had to carry on. The assistant referee has given it to Sligo Rovers. The rueful shake of the head from Pat Fenn. Felt it was his team's. Blinkhorn tangling with Oman again. Shelley under pressure from Russell. It's back with Barry Murphy. Jason Byrne. Brennan. Furtado in there, but safely caught by Kieran Kelly.
Again, very interesting there, George. Kieran Kelly had a chance to throw the ball out quickly to Baco. He stopped and Paul Cook went straight back and hit the dugout. He just wants to keep the tempo up because they're the better side at the moment.
And Doe first there. And Doe for Keane. Just a little too long, man. And it's Pearce. Back in from McGlynn. Keane. Oman, but just putting it down for Russell. Keane. Doe. Blinkhorn. Turning around Shelley. Ryan. On it goes for Daverin. Lopez waited. It's Daverin. Corner.
Marvellous football again by Sligo. I mean, he's turned around side. Great little touch by Blinkhorn. Great little ball outside. It's come out to Daverin. He's done really, really well as well. But in fairness to Killian Brennan, he's tracked back and he's held back his little young full-back Lopez. And that's good experience defending by Killian Brennan.
So Sligo's fourth corner. Just under 5 minutes to half-time. Doe. Headed away by Oman. Ryan back from Doe. And back for Ryan again. And Ryan hoisting it, and in they go. And Murphy punches it away. Up goes Blinkhorn. And it's Keegan who brings it down to bring some order to it for Bohemians. Nobody forward for Bows. They're not pressing high up the pitch. So it's Sligo's possession again.
Another lovely ball into the box for Richard Ryan. Barry Murphy's done really, really well. He's really under a lot of pressure there from Russell, and he's got a good touch on that ball, which is very, very important for Bows at that time.
Too long for the front man Russell, gathered in by Murphy. Here's against Furtado. Furtado again. Through the legs of Daverin. Furtado, lovely little dribble, stopped by Loughlin. Out for a throw to Bohemians. Former Sligo man showing the reason Bohemians brought him from the west. But we haven't seen that much of him, and that tells you how much Sligo have had the ball. Bohemians haven't been the attacking force that they would wish to be. And that was Russell just beaten by Shelley. Good feet from Brennan. Lopez, in fact, it is. Showing plenty of confidence, the right back. Oman has come to retrieve. And Oman seeks Brennan, who leaves it for Cretaro, which perhaps wasn't the decision to take because the taller Daverin rose to win the header. But it's Cretaro now with the ball at his feet. Brennan back to Lopez. Shelley. Cretaro. Cretaro still. And Cretaro, missed there by Ryan. And half cleared by Baco. And onto it comes Powell. McGlynn. Stretching for the header was Cronin. Never likely to hit the target.
Yeah, McGlynn has done well. I mean, he's just cut inside. But he's not got enough of the ball tonight to put it in. So, he's just put it in. And then Cronin's got underneath it. But it's a lot better by Bows. They need to get more on the ball. They need it more with sustained pressure because they don't have it. So when you look at that, I mean, he's delighted at the moment, Paul Cook, because, I mean, he must be just looking at his side going, we should be going in at 3 or 4-0 up. And they're not. but he's got to believe in the positives, and they got to play with Blinkhorn an awful lot more. And if Pat Fenlon's going to change, he's got to do something about the Blinkhorn situation at half time.
Jason Byrne. Piers there. Oh, what a tackle. What a wonderful tackle. And up to play it on. And now McCabe. Again, lovely feet. And Doe. Loughlin and Doe. And Richie Ryan. Bocco. Piers. Loughlin, touched by Russell, but Oman takes over. Loughlin again, letting it go. Now, here's the textbook brought out to show how to tackle. And then up to play on.
And never took his eyes off the ball the whole time he was doing it, even though there was two Bows people closing in. It just shows you how good a defending that was and how good it was for him to keep his eye on the ball and look at everything and not have the composure to do the tackle and get up and play it.
Ball out for a throw, and in comes Tony again.
Well, just been speaking to Mark Rossiter, the Bohemians fullback, and it is, I'm afraid, a hamstring injury, and he wasn't able to straighten the leg when the physio Tony McCarthy tried to do that with him. So it looks like he could be out for the season. Luckily, I suppose Owen Healy is due back.
Yep, but how frustrating that must be for Mark Rossiter, because even if he's been the more than able deputy for Owen Healy, who may well return, he'd still have been in the squad for the cup final if they make it. How frustrating to have to look on. Just an innocent little tweak, and that's the outcome.
It's never good to get him at any time of the season, but especially when you're challenging on all fronts, it must be very disappointing for the lad.
That's Loughlin. Killian Brennan off in chase. The additional minute has been played. And back it goes to Shelley. We're into the second minute of additional time. Here goes Blinkhorn again. Blinkhorn into the danger zone. Oh, falling back for Russell. Russell back then. Ryan couldn't get it out from his feet, underneath his feet. It's come down from McCabe again. And Davern, and headed away. And still no sign of a whistle. A look at the watch once more by Alan Kelly. And there's the whistle for half-time. After a minute and a half played additionally. But what a first half of football we've had at Dalymount Park, and how he must wonder how he isn't on the score sheet. Torrid time for Ken Oman and his Bohemians defenders. Half time at Dalymount in the first FAI Ford Cup semi-final. Bohemians 0, Sligo Rovers 0.
Rovers may be on the road, but they've looked very much at home in the home of Irish football. They've fashioned more than a chance or two, but they've yet to wrap one in Bow's net. It's 0-0 at half-time. And you're very welcome back to Dalymount Park. So half-time in this first FAI Ford Cup semi-final. Bohemians 0, Sligo Rovers 0. And Damien, I know you love to wax lyrical about the league at times, but certainly that's a great display of football, one of the best halves that we've seen this season.
It confirms my belief in the state of Irish professional football and the future of it. It's huge potential, and when you see a performance like this at such a level, such a consistent level, and such a tempo, Peter, it's an indication of what our future could be if we apply ourselves properly to that future.
Yeah, it's been a wonderful display, particularly, it has to be said, by Sligo Rovers, who dominated that first half. And also, Damien, they had the lion's share of the chances, and possibly should be 1 or 2 up.
Well, the only thing lacking in it, we'll watch the play here. There's some brilliant play. Blinkhorn dropping into the hole caused havoc. Great ball behind. Bucco's first touch is good. His idea is tremendous. He just puts too much on it. Again, the ball comes back, and they pick it up. They seem to have so much time on it. They create good angles, good triangles. And now Bucco attacks the heart of the defence, hits the target, keeper makes a good save. Great ball in again, good knockback. This is good defending by Bohemians to show why they're still in the game. And here's another shot from Richie Ryan on target, but it's blocked by Paul Keegan. Bohemians aren't out of this game by any stretch of the imagination, but look at this play. the awareness of where people are, the quick early 1 and 2 touch football, the movement off the ball, and then the idea to get and attack the fullback and get a shot at goal again. Good save by the goalkeeper, great save by the goalkeeper. And Blinkhorn has been a superb player, and the only thing wrong with his game is that he doesn't score goals. If he did, he'd be at the very highest level. And he has led this Sligo attack quite brilliantly. And he has brought and encouraged those passes through midfield that are causing so much problems to Bohemians' midfield and defence. And the havoc they're creating is only missing that goal. Now, I know the question you're going to ask me.
Yeah, Bohemians have been in that situation many times. We'll talk about that in a moment. But first of all, Sligo Rovers seem to really enjoy the wide expanses of Dalymount Park. Some teams don't like coming here, and we see this from some of their play. A wonderful one-touch football, great passing and moving.
Yes, I mean, it's all based on good technical ability. It's also based on good training amongst good players. At the back heel from Joseph, though, a magnificent awareness, a defence-splitting pass, and Ken O'Man, a very good centre-half, just averts the danger. And if that's not enough, here they pick it up again. Watch this from Richie Ryan, calm and assured on the ball. Bocco available, fullback coming into the play. Great ball into that hole again between midfield and defence. Keeping possession of the ball. Watch the support on the ball here. They know there are people around. And watch this pass here. Puts it in behind the centre. Great movement, great layback, and then out to the winger again. Roster makes a very good interception. Here's Joseph in there. Watch this from Richie Ryan. Stops with his right foot, hits with his left foot, inch perfect. And watch Bocco get at the full-back again, put the ball in, and again Bows are just stretching at the back. They pick up the ball again. It seems to be Joseph and Doe and Richie running in the back of everything, but the support of their other players is quite magnificent as well. The composure, accepting the tackles, having the courage and the conviction of their own ability, keep that ball moving, keep creating the tackles, and all the time there's Blinkhorn at the apex of all the attacks, available and ready to shield the ball and give the midfield players an outlet. Bring midfield players into the game, spread the ball wide. Very difficult to defend against, and the Bohemians are a very good side, Peter.
Yeah, it's the sort of football that the purists absolutely love, and a great display by Sligo Rovers. But, and here's that question that you knew I was going to ask you at half-time. Bohemians at 0-0, always a very dangerous team under Pat Fenlon, as we've known over the last few years.
Yes, with very limited possession, they make something out of almost nothing. And Cretaro has been a very, very good player, and yet he's been very quiet tonight. But he knows he can have a shot in 25, 30 yards. They've been restricted to shooting from that distance. It's the only real shot they've had. And even this good build-up here is only half of a half chance as it comes in across the box. And that's all Bohemians have had. But there is no score. And as well as Sligo have played, I would say Sligo have played brilliantly, except they haven't scored a goal. So they're not quite brilliant enough yet to be given that tag, if you know what I mean.
No, but they've certainly contributed to what has been a very, very enjoyable first half here at Dalymount Park. Let's hope we have something similar and maybe a few goals in the second 45 minutes. Do stay with us. We'll be back with you shortly. Very welcome back. A reminder of the upcoming football here on RTE2. A reminder that Manchester United and West Brom and Aston Villa against Chelsea are among the featured games on Premier Soccer Saturday. That's tomorrow evening at 8 o'clock. Then, of course, we're back with the second FAI Ford Cup semi-final on Sunday. Shamrock Rovers against St Patrick's Athletic. Our programme begins at 3 o'clock. Hope you can join us for that. And then, of course, a review of all the weekend's action from the FAI Ford Cup and, of course, the Electricity League Premier Division, Monday, 7 o'clock, as always, on MNS. Well, the team's coming back out onto the pitch here at Dalymount Park, and just before we return to the second half action, Damien, I suppose the question is now, what can Pat Fenlon do to counteract this excellent Sligo performance?
Well, what he'll do in the dressing room at half-time, Peter, first of all, is reassure his players that they're still in the game, no goals. Then he'll try and ask them to believe in their ability and then impose that ability on the opposition. For example, Cronin and Keegan will have to get tighter to Endo and Ryan to stop that supply from the middle of the park. Yeah. John Russell then will become a little bit of a thorn in that free role. But they've got to get much tighter to the Sligo players to stop them creating and holding and demanding possession so much. And the players then have got to raise the tempo and show a bit of league. If Sligo give the same level of performance, Bohemians are in a bit of trouble. I anticipate, though, Bowes will be more involved in the game this half.
OK, well, it's been another great display of football at Dalymount Park. Sligo Rovers on top in that first half. Can Bohs get back into it? Will we see some goals? Only the next 45 minutes will tell. Let's rejoin our commentary team now with Pat Morley and George Hamilton.
Yes, we're all set for the second half, and if the second half is anything like the first half, it's going to be quite something. And I'd say Pete Mann on the left there with Con Murphy looking on. Pete Mann's team in action on Sunday, of course, against Sligo Rovers. And if Pete Mann's team comes up against Bohemians in the final, or Sligo Rovers in the final of the FAI Cup, I think either or is going to be very difficult.
Yeah, he'd be a worried man if he was looking at Sligo after the first half, but there's a long way to go, and I'm sure Bohs will come out fighting this half, George.
Well, Pat Fenlon has had his words at half-time. We'll see if Bohemians can play any differently in the second half. An attack already, but Kieran Kelly is out to gather it in and make it safe for Sligo Rovers. Good ball by Jason Byrne.
Yeah, a better start, but again, in fairness to the keeper Kieran Kelly, he's read it very, very quickly and dealt with it quickly.
And back it goes to Pearce. And a long one all the way through to Barry Murphy. Brennan. It's Davern. Davern still. Russell now. Back it goes to Indo. Russell. Little dummy to Pitaro, and still it's Russell. Lovely balance and skill. Blinkhorn trying to get it through. Brennan away. Jason Byrne. Long one. Kelly waits and steered back to him by Keane, and Kelly sends it long. Play. Throw to Sligo Rovers.
Well, it started off exactly like it's ended, George, in the first half. I mean, Sligo, again, have a low ball. Bohs are not putting any pressure at all on the Sligo Rovers players, and vice versa. When Bohs have the ball, Rovers are putting huge pressure on the Bohs players, and that can't continue if Bohs want to get into this game.
McCabe. Shelley putting it away. And it's a corner to Sligo Rovers.
And again, George was very lucky he did, because Blinkhorn had gone in behind him and no one had picked him up, and he's gone on the back side of it, so he's becoming very difficult to mark. And you know, Damien spoke about it at half time, we've spoken all during the first half. If this guy is not picked up, he's going to be the match winner here.
No, with the corner. Near post, Russell holding it on. Back in again by Ryan, cleared away by Shelley. And it's Davern. Skipping around Jason Byrne, but the shot well wide of the upright. But all the way through this Sligo team, there's skill on the ball, there's great balance.
They're very confident, George. I mean, when they're on the ball, they're just beautiful to watch. I mean, you know, Davern has come inside there, and obviously he's full of confidence at the moment, and he's trying to hit something from 25 yards. He's had no chance. But again, he's trying to do the right thing, trying to get inside. He probably would have been better trying to put a ball into the box. But full of confidence right throughout the squad.
Helped on by Ryan. Now it's Russell. Lovely control again. Bocco. Russell. And Russell having difficulty getting away from Oman. Goal kick. John Russell back in the team after suspension. Very effective in Sligo's midfield.
The five-a-sides will be good, George, I'd say, during training. Some of the keep ball. Who wouldn't like to be in the middle of it? I'm trying to get the ball back off some of them.
Blinkhorn in behind here. Stroke too strong for Lopez. Blinkhorn still. And Blinkhorn. And all the way across, and it wouldn't come for Boku, and it's put behind by McGlynn. Blinkhorn again at the heart of it.
Ball down the wing. The young lad has been caught up, just a lack of experience there. Blinkhorn has done really, really well. Looked up, skinned him again, played a little ball across the box. Garrett McGlynn, brilliant defending.
Another corner to Sligo Rovers. Joseph Mando, flicked on by Boku, back out by Pears. Now Mando. Too big. Oh, what skill. McCabe, clever. Ryan up. Just can't direct it onto the goal. Gary McCabe, terrific out of the wing.
Terrific with Joseph and Doe as well, as typified everything that's gone on. No one has gone out the challenge. There it is, different class, beautiful cross into the box, and no one there finishing, you know, a small bit of a loop on the ball. But when Joseph and Doe was out the far side, no one from Bowes challenged him. We're talking about it, and it hasn't happened.
Change here for Bohemians. Maybe Jason Byrne's injury problems, which were making him a doubt for this, will have cost him his place here. That Jason Byrne coming off and Mark Quigley going on. Antonio Donoghue is more.
Well, it's not an injury actually, George. It's a tactical decision on behalf of the Bohemians management team. Quigley will play out on the left now, and that'll offer them an opportunity to put another man in midfield. It's a tactic they'd considered at half-time. I asked him, was he going to change things tactically as he came out for the second half. He said not yet. He's only given it 6 or 7 minutes.
Indeed. Well, the one thing about Quigley is that he has a record against Sligo. Both recent visits of Bohemians to Sligo, Mark Quigley has scored on each of them.
Bring something different to the table, and he's got a nice little hairdo as well going on there as well. So a bit strange.
Well, as it says in the song, it started with a kiss and it's continued with a perm. Isn't that hot chocolate?
Very good, John.
Lopez. There's McGlynn. McGlynn didn't like the fact that he was put to the floor, but the referee saw nothing wrong with it. On by McGlynn. And Cataro, challenged by Pears. Killian Brennan. Cronin, or Keegan rather. Cronin. And Brennan. Lopez. Shelley. Shelley. And again. Furtado. And this is Quigley, the substitute. Lopez leaving it for Brennan. And Brennan swept wide. Furtado. Quigley. Stopped by Ryan. And forward by Keane. And oh, the two Bohemians players collided there. Clash of heads, and the referee has to stop the game because Ken Oman went high and Connor Powell was clattered. It seemed there was a clash of heads there, but thankfully Powell is, while holding his head, is back at his feet.
Yeah, Ken Oman has come in, he's just caught him on the back of the head, and the referee's made a very good decision there in calling that, because that was nasty.
Well, thankfully he's all right, and the contact, while he felt it, can't have been as severe as it looked. And it's good to know that he needed nothing more than a helping hand to the touchline, and he's all right to continue again.
It was the best passage of play for Bohs had in the game with knocking the ball around there for 2 or 3 minutes. But what was very interesting in it was that they had to work very, very hard to keep the ball, because Sligo kept pressurising him, and that is totally in contrast to what Bohs are doing out there when Sligo have the ball.
Oman. Brennan, Davern was with him, and Doe, that's come off Keegan and all the way through to Kieran Kelly. Cronin up the line for Quintaro. Pearce out of the middle. Throw in. Pearce not happy. Said it must surely have last touched the Bohs man. Cut out by Loughlin. Well, that was a little careless by Davern. Not typical of Sligo at all on this evening. Doe cushioning it back to Loughlin. Offside. Flag up on the far side from the assistant referee Wayne McDonald.
I think what's very interesting, I mean, Paul Cook is having a little show of some of his players down there, because Gary McCabe has pulled wide out to the wing to try and get this young lad Lopez to come up and follow him. He's staying inside and let's be protected by a man, and I think Paul Cook just needs to get his team to get the ball down and try and get McCabe into the game a bit more, because he's been given a lot of space by Lopez.
Well, Lopez, who is such a newcomer to the Bohemian squad, his name was not even on the squad list in the programme, but centre back from the under 20 and A team, making his debut tonight as a substitute. Now here's Blinkhorn for Sligo. A little bit wasteful there. Shot he knows he should have done better.
Yes, a poor shot, but what I'd be really, really concerned is both Oman and Shelley have backed off, and the ball has come into Blinkhorn. There's a small bit of luck on this, but have a look at Oman and Shelley. They've both backed off and left him turn. You can't do that 18 yards out. And if his strike is a bit better, he could hit the target.
Lopez on for Rossiter, who damaged the hamstring in the first half.
Take it off it. Go on, guys.
You can hear Paul Cook shouting. Oh, Lopez missed that one. Shelley has held off Russell. Offside. Quintaro came back from an offside position. Onside this time. McCabe against Lopez. And Lopez slips, and it's McCabe, and he's found it come back off Killian Brennan. Forward by Keegan, back again by Quintaro. Now a chance of a break perhaps for Bohemians. And Quigley is fouled by Ryan.
Just working so hard. I mean, again, you see with Lopez there, the ball was down to McCabe. He's got a beautiful little touch, and Lopez slipped on his bum. But what Paul Cook is screaming at, he's screaming at to get the ball out on this side to his shores, so that this McCabe can get at this Lopez lad, and I think that's the tactic that they're trying to employ.
Shelley, Brennan, taken from him by Davern and Doe. And Lopez made the challenge, but dispossessed Russell. Let's come back off the pullback, Alan Keane, out of play. Well, this looks bad for Galway, doesn't it? Playoffs beckon. Sporting Fingal 3-0 up. Taro caught offside again.
And he's just looking a bit strange and a bit lost up there now, because he's looking for a ball to feed, and you know, he's a small lad and he's getting balls knocked up in the air, and it's never any good for him. So you need to get the ball down and start playing a bit.
Lovely ball, lovely control. McCabe. Oh, foul just outside the box. Well, it's difficult. A baptism of fire for Roberto Lopez.
Yeah, beautiful skill. Look at inside. Yeah, it is outside, and Lopez has been caught, and it's definitely something that Paul Cook is looking at, and they've had a good chat about it at half time. And this is where you're looking for a good ball into the box, bit of quality, and anything can happen.
Well, he scored in the previous 2 visits to Daily Mount Sligo Rovers. There's a great opportunity and set up with a wonderful ball swept out to McCabe, whose control was impeccable. And now it's McCabe who's going to take the free kick. Right on the out. Alan Kelly has got them where he wants them to be. McCabe. And up in the air. And eventually behind for a corner.
Yeah, disappointed free kick. It's hit Mark Quigley and he's just defended it, and it's a poor free kick in the situation that they were in. You'd expect a bit better.
Now Ndo will take the corner. This, by the way, is Sligo's 7th corner won for Bohemians. Ndo way to the back post and out on the breeze, which has changed direction and has picked up somewhat.
Yeah, it has picked up, George, but you know the way that Sligo played in the first half, they shouldn't be just trying to play with the breeze now. They should be getting the ball down like they were doing the first half. They were doing wonderfully well. It was very simple football, and it was effective football. The last 2 set pieces have been very poor and sloppy, and they need to get away from that.
Taro. Quigley. And he's won the throw. Powell. Got it away by Pearce. Oh, an elbow in the face there. The elbow was certainly high, but the referee has just gone for a free kick awarded against Glenn Cronin.
Yeah, he's very lucky. I mean, he's totally checked him there. But again, you know, you look at Alan Kelly. Incredible. He's been anonymous in the game today. He's kept the game flowing. He hasn't got involved in the game. And there's been a couple of decisions that he could have given cards and he hasn't. And you know, well done him.
Oh no, absolutely. If you don't spot the referee, he's generally doing a good job. But that did seem a bit worse than what was given, a simple free kick.
I wouldn't have been happy getting a charge. And I've been screaming for a card, but you know, he's done well.
Well, Sligo fans a little bit more pensive perhaps that their team hasn't dominated the second half quite to the degree that they did in the first, but they're still, I'd suggest, have the hook hand. Barry Murphy has a bit of a problem, and reflected in the way he kicked that. There's something wrong with his right foot or his right calf, but bows continue. Keegan. Lopez. Just too firm, is it, for Brennan? Now Brennan against Davern, and Davern's come away with it and gets a free kick.
Yeah, great defending. I mean, Killian Bennon's trying to get a bit of a showboat, and there you go. All of that. He just totally stood his ground. Great defending.
Well, he's had a very good season here at Davern for Sligo Rovers. And And let us not forget that they are third in the table behind Bohemians and Shamrock Rovers, and are the league's top scorers, but they're finding it hard to get away through this Bohemians defence. Massed ranks at this moment. Jim Laughlin urging concentration and application further forward. This is aimed at Blinkhorn against Oman, and he beat him. And it's come down now for a chance for Russell, and now Boko, and it's stopped by Shelley. Back it goes to Powell. In the way, Richie Ryan. Piers long towards Blinkhorn, who's onside. Got goal side of Shelley, but just couldn't control it. Tony O'Donoghue.
Well, just been talking to Paul Cook on the Sligo bench, and he's clock watching right now because he thinks, of course, they're on top and they want to score a goal. He says, but keeping an eye on the time as it goes on. You'd really want to settle for a draw. You're away from home in a cup semi-final.
Well, is that handball by Piers? Is that the way to go about it?
Wouldn't be my way to go. I just think they've taken the foot off the gas a bit, and you know, you look at Baco's chance while it going, the ball came inside and he tried to take the touch. He should have hit it first time, and I think they're on top and they need to go for it.
Well, this has been left for Killian Brennan as Ken Oman goes forward. This is now Connor Powell. Cronin, but they've broken free. It's in Doe, went for Blinkhorn. Now it's Shelley. Challenge was by McGlynn. Challenge this time by Piers. Still they go on, no foul. Brennan forward towards McGlynn. And now the game stops because the Bohemian player is on the ground. Well, there's a little bit of unhappiness on the part of Gavin Piers. What happened there? It's suggesting some gamesmanship on the part of, I think it's Brian Shelley who's down. We'll just see what happened here. Yes, it is Shelley. He won the ball. Shelley landed awkwardly. So he knew, Alan Kelly, that it wasn't a foul, but he's just suggesting Gavin Piers to keep his frustration in check.
Yeah, he's just landed awkwardly on the lower part of his back. I mean, you know, Gavin Piers has come in, he's won the ball fairly. Look, here you go, perfectly good challenge, and Shelley's just turned over, and he's landed very awkward on the base of his spine, and you know, he's just a bit winded as well. But when you go back to the last passage of play, George, Joseph and Doe broke out, and all he had to do was look to the left. McCabe was totally clear. Everybody had been pulled in, and there was just one ball, and he's probably trying to explain to Gavin Piers where what he should have been doing is saying, look, just lift it ahead and had a look. Crossfield ball, they've been doing it all night and they didn't do it, and they must be frustrated with that.
Ryan Shelley with a problem with his cock six, which puts in mind the grandmother in Napoleon Dynamite, who broke hers out on a motorbike in the dunes.
I can't follow that.
One of the great movies, Napoleon Dynamite. But it's not often you get the chance to say cock six on the air, or cockix as the character in the movie called it. But he seems to be moving okay, so no Napoleon Dynamite difficulties for Brian Shelley. Gavin Piers now. I can see why Paul Cook is getting concerned, because the clock is running down. Almost 25 minutes of the second half gone. But you would be fearful that that kind of approach is only going to open the door to the past masters stealing a game last minute or late on.
Absolutely, George. I'm just very surprised that he wants to try and do that, or that's the feedback that's coming from the sideline, because they're totally on top. They're the better side. You know, they have Bows where they want them. Bows are the champions, and they're making them look very, very average here. But if they take the foot off the gas, it's only going to lead to one thing.
The last two occasions that they met in cup competition, it went beyond 90 minutes. FAI Cup quarter-final last year went to a replay, and Sligo won that replay. And then there was also the EA Sports Cup semi-final last season, which Bohemians won after extra time. And of course there was the first time they met in the final of the FAI Cup in 1970, when it took 3 matches to separate them. It's not as if supporters of these teams, those a little longer in the tooth, aren't aware of the fact that these two have a history of taking a little longer than the normal to sort things out between them. Piers. Sindo winning it back. And Davlin. And Bows are going to make their final substitution, it would appear. Pat Fenlon at the semaphore going there to call back his last man. Latest scores from elsewhere. Stephen Walsh for Galway pulling one back at Sporting Fingal, and the Belfield Bowl. Johnny Breen has scored. Dundalk 2-0 up. 8 minutes left in those games. Here we've got, as you can see, we're a little under 19 minutes left, and Bohemians are about to make their final substitution. And it will be Paddy Madden. Almost inevitably, he's become a bit of a super sub now. Bohemians top scorer, 4 goals. But he's going to come on. And it's Raffaele Cretaro who will be cheered off by the Sligo fans as Bohemians replace him with Paddy Madden. Madden scored against Sligo in the Bows victory in their final meeting of last season, 3-1 here.
Yeah, again, I mean, it's a similar type of player, but I mean, again, I'm surprised that Katara has come off, because he of all the Bows players out there, he looked at the one to be the most dangerous and obviously have the most interest in the game, if I can say that. You know, Paddy Madden will bring it a lot different to the attack, but at this stage, will he get a chance?
Davern. McCabe against Lopez. McCabe and Brennan. His intervention wasn't successful either. And Lopez has brought him down again, and a warning for the young substitute full back. I think Alan Kelly accepting that he's just 18, he's on his debut, and there was nothing malicious in it.
No, he's a bit raw, but it's 2 rash tackles there, so he just needs to be very careful, and he doesn't need to go back to the referee or protest him, because he will get a card. But again, McCabe, if they get the ball more to him, I think he will cause a lot of problems. What you're looking for here, George, we keep talking about it, is a decent ball into the box with a bit of quality and a bit of pace. Joseph
and Doe, they've tended to be a bit high as they've flown in there, which has meant they're dropping onto those who are trying to head them. Perhaps a little bit more pace this time from Joseph and Doe. To the back, that was better, but defended by Killian Brennan. Wonderful skill by Russell, but a corner is the outcome of Powell. 8-1 the corner count in Sligo's favour.
Better ball that time though, George, and good defending as well by Killian Brennan, but a lot better ball with a lot more pace on it.
It'll be Ryan this time. And the header went in from the near post by Buckle. The goal kick is... It's another corner. Took a touch after it left Buckle's head. Ryan once again. With just over a quarter of an hour to go at Dalymount. If it isn't decided by 90 minutes, it'll be in Sligo to play again on Monday night. But there's Pearse, and maybe they won't have to. Sligo Rovers get the breakthrough. And Gavin Pearse gets the congratulations. Jim Loughlin was in there too. One thing's for sure, it's a centre-back's goal, but Gavin Pearse was all smiles. They congratulated him. Who got the final touch? Both of them did.
We're going to give a ball, John. Fabulous ball in by, great ball in by Ryan. There's the touch, and Pearse. It's Pearse, a great header. Great, I mean, Loughlin's trying to claim that. The ball comes in again. Yes, Gavin Pearse. Fantastic goal. Great ball in, diving header, and he's committed himself to go and win that ball in the area. Deservedly so, 1-0 up. Great call, George.
It took a long time coming. It took a long time coming, and it looked, with Paul Cook's declared intention and the clock ticking down, that they might yet again have to do it all over again on Monday in Sligo. But no, that's not the case, and Gavin Pearse gets his first goal of this cup campaign, and who knows, that might be the goal that takes Sligo into consecutive cup finals for only the second time in their history.
On 75 minutes of play, George, they've been by far the better side. They've had the more chances, they've had the better quality of play, they've passed the ball around a lot better, and they're the better side, and deservedly 1-0 up, and hopefully they just won't go back in the shell and come back out and go for more.
Here goes McCabe into the corner. Goal kick. Well, the drama. Sligo Rovers score their first goal at Dalymount Park in a year and seek their first victory at Dalymount Park in over 4 years. It's not over yet. Paddy Madden, Roberto Lopez, Brennan. McCabe away from Keegan and on for N'Doh. Another great ball into space. N'Doh with Bocco out wide and round the outside, or round the inside rather, goes the fullback. It's Alan Keane, and challenged by Quigley. It's a throw into Sligo Rovers.
Yeah, great football. The only worry about it is that McCabe has got picked up a little injury in that, and he's looking at the bench, which is a worry for them because he's been different class in the second half. But again, Sligo starting up the tempo again.
Bocco, and out of play it goes. He's feeling it a little bit, but doesn't appear to be anything too serious. N'Doh, well, the Sligo fans are making all the noise now. And Joseph N'Doh, the former Bohemian, can't keep control of it, but they still have the ball. Bocco back to Ryan, the captain, and Ryan, well, they were stretching. It's Keane. And it's gone away for a goal kick. The journey has been well worthwhile, they feel. Not over yet, but there's the goal scorer, his fourth of the season and his first in the cup. And Sligo lead 1-0, just over 10 minutes to go. On by Paddy Madden. McGlynn, oh, that's a waste. Well, Bows were in the final in 08. They won it, completing the double. Sligo were in the final in 09. They didn't win it. They were 1-0 up but lost 2-0, 2-1 to Sporting Fingal. Sporting Fingal are out. Danny Ventry's about to go on. Will Sligo Rovers continue into the FAI Cup final? The yellow card, the first yellow card of the game for Kieran Kelly for time wasting, the Sligo Rovers goalkeeper.
Dish harsh as well, George. He was trying to get the ball off the crowd, and he got a yellow card for time wasting, so small but harsh for him.
Joseph Doe. Keane. Powell. Cronin back to Oman. More news from Tony O'Donoghue on the Sligo substitution.
Yes, well, Danny Ventry will be playing centre midfield instead of Russell and alongside Richie Ryan, and the tactic and the instruction is to allow Joseph Doe to get forward and do what he likes.
And he's been magisterial through this game, Joseph Doe, former Bohemians player. And that was hopeful by Keegan, but it's gone all the way through to Kelly.
Well, they're going to have to put the pressure on now, both, so they're going to have to push forward a bit. And for the first, 80 minutes, they haven't looked at done anything to me. So what it's going to do is probably go and open a few doors. So if Endo starts getting on the ball and he gets a free rein here, anything can happen.
Won by Blinkhorn. So Fingal move up and Galway move nearer the playoffs. In fact, that result confirms they are in the playoffs. While Dundalk's season shines on. 2-0 winners at UCD. Accidental handball for Quigley. Blinkhorn. McCabe. Lovely football by Sligo. I tell you what, if they get into the final and they play like that, they will really grace the Aviva Stadium.
Yeah, it's been absolutely brilliant. I mean, you know, you just look at what they're doing in tight spaces and the first touch, you know, the little interplay. Everybody knows where everybody else. It's been fantastic to watch.
Tony O'Donoghue wants more?
Yeah, well, they've changed their mind now, and it's Bocco is going to come off and not Russell. They were thinking that John Russell was very tired, but now they think that Bocco had been carrying a bit of an ankle injury. They're better to make a change involving Bocco and give him a rest. They hope that Russell will no longer feel tired until the end of the game.
That's one way of putting it, I guess. Thanks, Tony. So, Hummel Bocco, back from international duty with Benin to play tonight, goes off, and Danny Ventry, played in the cup final last year, goes on. Maybe a second successive cup final for him on the rest of the Sligo team. Undo with the free kick. Decent ball in. Oh, it's been missed, and it's a chance for Pears to send it back. But it's over the bar and behind, and it's a goal kick. Still time for Bohemians, though. Let us not overlook that.
Yeah, there's loads of time for Bohemians, George, and they just need to push it on a bit. They need to get the ball. They need to get control of the ball. A couple of the midfield lads, you know, haven't performed tonight. Keegan or Cronin haven't been in the game. They've been totally outshone, and they need to get on the ball. And I just don't see that happening at the moment because they just haven't given anything to sort of show that.
Quigley. Quigley going to have a go. Always rising away. Well, he curled that one over the bar, and he might have wished to curl it into the top corner.
Yeah, it wasn't his best. I mean, he's going to them, and it's just a poor strike. I mean, you look, George, that just typifies what's gone on tonight so far. You know, there's been poor strikes. You know, when you look back at the game so far, I think it was Qatar had a strike, and Paul Keegan maybe had a header in the first half, and that's been it. That's what they've offered. 12
matches unbeaten for Bohemians, 10 in the league, and 2 to come to decide if they retain the title for the third successive season. Is a performance like this going to cause a hiccup? Makes the game in Galway next week. Galway already in the playoffs. Look like pride for Galway, and a chance for Bohemians to redeem themselves after this evening's second best to Sligo. But second best on the pitch could be changed with a scoreboard. Madden is fouled. Laughlin says that was no foul. I got the ball.
You know, he's come in there. I mean, he hasn't got a touch on the ball, and Paddy Manning's got a free kick, and you just hope that it's not a silly free kick for them, you know, at this time of the game, and just having to defend something that they really shouldn't have to defend.
It's Killian Brennan who'll take the free kick. Now Brennan left-footed will curl it into the danger zone. Wasn't a great delivery. And Kelly's able to prevent the corner in front of his own fans, which brings forth a holler of delight.
Yeah, it's a poor free kick, especially in the position that they were in with all the big boys coming up from the back, and you'd be disappointed with that.
And Doe going in chase, but first there is Shelley. And Doe fell over his tackler, but it's going to be a throw-in or a free kick. There's a foul. And a change, further change for Sligo. Gary McCabe, well, maybe just to protect that potential injury that he appeared to have picked up, he's going to come off to be replaced by Owen Doyle. Well, they are absolutely delighted, and why wouldn't you be? They were 4 years younger when their team last won here. There's the change.
Yeah, I mean, McCabe has come off, he's been marvellous tonight. I mean, some of the trickery, his first touch, you know, on the ball, it's just like he's been born with a ball. He's been solely comfortable, it's been fantastic.
Kennaman. So Brennan trying to send it forward, but it was Keane who got there first. Touch was poor Shelley, invites Lopez to take it away. And there's a foul by Blinkhorn on Lopez. And the clock ticks on. Past the 85-minute mark. Oman forward. Shelley 2. Powell has been left back to defend. And again, a straightforward catch. Here on Kelly, he hasn't been particularly troubled. You think back, the big saves was the double save from McCabe and Blinkhorn by Barry Murphy in the latter stages of the first half. Well, it's that time, Pat, when you nominate the forward man of the match.
Yeah, George, it could have been anybody from Sligo, but in the end they've gone for the centre forward, Matthew Blinkhorn. I just think his first half performance was absolutely exceptional, and he's been, you know, outstanding, and everything about Sligo tonight has been revolved around him. There's been a couple of other players like McCabe and that have been wonderful as well, but my forward man of the match is Matthew Blinkhorn.
Tackled by Shelley, another corner kick for Sligo Rovers. In the final 2 minutes of the 90, Sligo Rovers have their 11th corner. Bohemians have managed only one, and there in microcosm is the balance of power in this game, and finally reflected on the scoreboard in the 1-0 lead to Sligo Rovers. And Doe and Doyle, and slow throw in is given to Bohemians. Lopez on. And went Blinkhorn. Caught in the back there. McGlynn. Played forward by Quigley. And Loughlin cleverly directs it back to his goalkeeper, who put it out of play. And Sligo have another substitute if they need one. But Blinkhorn went heavily into that challenge and hasn't got up since. He just got a knee in the small of his back there. I think that's what the problem was. Anyway, the news that he'll have heard lying prone on the ground that he's man of the match may well have cheered him up a little. But Conor O'Grady's going to come on. And no doubt it'll be Blinkhorn who'll come off. final minute of the game. Blinkhorn goes off. A terrific game, fourth man of the match, and in his place for the final moments is Conor O'Grady.
Yeah, Paul Cook's made a change very, very quickly. He's just said, right, you're finished, you're off, and get Conor O'Grady on. And I mean, it's just good management. Get him on quickly. Don't ask any questions, and make sure you get the win and get out of here and get to the cup final in the Aviva Stadium.
Oh, 4 more minutes they've got to play. 4 minutes of additional time. Back with Lopez. I won't need reminding Sligo that in the EA Sports Cup semi-final last season it was 2-1 right at the finish when Paul Keegan got an equaliser, and Sligo Rovers ended up on the losing side of a 4-2 scoreline after extra time. So they know Bohemians don't give it up, but in fairness you'd have to say if they do get something out of this, it'll be remarkable, because it's been quite an under par performance from Bohemians compared to Sligo Rovers, who've been superb.
Absolutely superb. That was a good one there. That was your ball, my ball, as it came into the box from McGlynn. You know, I mean, keeper's got to call that there. You don't do that, you know, into injury time. You have to come out and command your box there. And you know, Joseph Indone has moved up front. What Sligo need to do is get the ball, control it, kill the game, and start putting the ball into corners and get the ball up to Joseph Indone.
I have to say also, regardless of how this pans out, with Sligo finishing strongly in third position in the Electricity League and playing so well towards the end of the season, that next year might look good for them too. That may be looking too far down the line, but certainly encouraging signs the way Paul Cook has got this team playing, and having sold their top scorer. They're still top scorers in the league. Pardigament now in Portugal. This is Quigley for Bohemians. But the night has shaped up well for Sligo, and less so for Pat Fenlon's Bohemians, who were hoping they might repeat the double of 2008, but there are still 2 minutes of additional time to go. Still time for them to take this back to Sligo on Monday night.
No, I think you're totally correct in what you're saying, George. I think Sligo have been wonderful tonight, and I think it's a full credit to Paul Cook and the way he set up his side, the way they played football tonight all night has been absolutely wonderful. They've taken the game to Bows, and as we speak, at present, their wonderful display has going to give them a victory. And full credit to their manager and full credit to their players on the pitch.
Doyle, he just hasn't managed to keep it in play. Here we go. A throw into Bohemians. They've got to try and get up the other end. Lopez. You remember this debut all right, but perhaps not the way he wished to. And a little tug by Keegan there. And the free kick is Sligo Rovers, and there'll be in no hurry to get on with it. Yeah. Alan Kelly has, as you say, Pat, refereed this game superbly, and no necessity for a yellow card for frustration at this late stage. He knows the stakes are so high, and he's refereeing with admirable discretion. We're in the final minute. Sligo happy to give a goal kick to Bohemians at this stage.
Yeah, he's just, you know, if you give a yellow card, he just heaped the pain on it. I mean, when you look back at even young Lopez at the back four, you know, I'm sure Pat Fenlon will take him inside during the week and say, you know, just learn from what you've had tonight, because, you know, it's been a big experience for him as well. But unfortunately, it looks like he's going to end up on the losing side tonight.
Just a little bit of frustration at the end. Ken O'Man and Gavin Pearce. A collision there. Pearce went down and stayed down, but he's back on his feet now. In the final seconds of this wonderful performance by Sligo Rovers. Have gone in against the defending league champions, and the heirs apparent now with a wonderful performance. And Pearce puts the ball back into the corner for another goal kick to Bohemians, and Alan Kelly blows the whistle, and it'll be a town against country final, the FAI Ford Cup, 4 weeks on Sunday at the Aviva Stadium. Paul Cook Sligo Rovers, for only the second time in their history, are in the final of the FAI Cup for the second year in a row.
Absolutely deservedly so, George. A wonderful performance. It was an absolute pleasure to be here tonight to see them play the football they played. It was a credit to the league, and it was a credit to Paul Cook and his players. And congratulations to Sligo Rovers, deservedly in the cup final.
70 years ago, 1939 and 1940, 70 years on, 2009 and 2010. Sligo Rovers are in the final of the FAI Ford Cup for the second time in succession, and the man who scored the goal, their stalwart defender, Gavin Pearce, putting them through with a quarter of an hour to go. Final score in the first of the FAI Ford Cup semi-finals. Bohemians 0, Sligo Rovers 1. It's Sligo Rovers against Shamrock Rovers of St. Pat's at the Aviva in 4 weeks.
Thank you very much to George and Pat on commentary. And as you can see, jubilation at the far end of the ground. Those Sligo Rovers supporters who've made the trip to Dalymount this evening have seen their team perform so well, and they go away with a 1-0 victory there in the FAI Cup final. The first one, of course, to take place at the new Aviva Stadium. So players and fans absolutely thrilled, quite rightly so. And the man of the match, as you heard from Pat Morley, was Matthew Blinkhorn, and I believe Tony O'Donoghue has caught up with him now.
Matthew is here, and so too is Milo Corcoran, to present you, Matthew, with your Man of the Match trophy from Ford. So congratulations and well done. Terrific game, and Sligo once again are in the cup final, this time in the Aviva Stadium. It must be a great feeling.
It's a great feeling, to get to the first final in the Aviva Stadium. It's going to be a great day, and I think we totally deserved it today. I think we dominated the game from the first minute to the last minute.
And after last year, it would be great, after the disappointment, to go one better.
Yeah, like we've said all along, we need to make up for last year, and this is another step towards making up for last year.
Well done, Matthew.
Cheers, Tom. Thanks, mate. Thank you.
Yes, congratulations to Matthew Blinkhorn, the man of the match. Damien, let's look back at that second half. Possibly not as entertaining as the first half, but it did provide the all-important goal that has sealed it for Sligo.
Yes, it did. The only thing lacking from Sligo Rovers was the goal. And it was quite ironic, Peter, that it came from a set piece. A beautiful ball in by Richie Ryan. Both centre-halves attack it there. And it is Gavin Pearce who gets the all-important touch, throwing himself at it, heedless of his own safety. Look, powering a brilliant goal from his point of view. But after all the chances they made in the first half, the wonderful open football and the great control they had, to win the game with a set piece is quite ironic, but it just shows you the importance of those occasions too.
Yeah, they played some beautiful football, they secured the win, and now they'll face either Shamrock Rovers or St. Pat's, who play on Sunday, a match we'll have live here on RT2 at 3 o'clock. That's going to be a tight affair up in Tallaght, Damien, isn't it?
Yes, it is. I mean, the first thing you have to be said on that performance tonight, Sligo Rovers are very welcome in the final, Peter. Aviva Stadium will be perfect for them. So there's a great test for Shamrock Rovers and Pat's now. Both managers have got to do a huge job. Pete Mann and Michael O'Neill, both teams got on the back of very important defeats over the last couple of weeks. They've got to get the troops together and get the belief in the team. And I really don't know what's going to happen on Sunday afternoon.
Yeah, it'll probably be another tight affair, but here at Dalymount Park this evening, Sligo Rovers have booked their place in the FAI Ford Cup final. It'll either be Shamrock Rovers or St. Pat's to meet them. We'll find out about that one on Sunday. We do hope you can join us on RT2 at 3 o'clock. Until then, from all of us here, a very good night to you.